Hi everyone, hi. I just want to show you these swans. So just turning the camera quickly because they're walking away from me. And they were so beautiful. I was just debating whether I was going to do a little live video or not, and it started pouring with rain. And then I thought, I'll just drive a little way and see whether it's possible or not, whether the rain will stop. And then I saw these lovely swans, and they're already disappearing into the water. So I don't even think that you can see them at this point, but let me see if I can go a bit closer. There they are. They're just sailing off. Look at that, aren't they beautiful? So I'm out on the nature reserves. This is not West Hay, this is another one. I'm not quite sure, it's a bit further away. And I thought I would come down and show you. There they go, look at that. So graceful. Absolutely beautiful. So I don't know what swan medicine is, but let these swans be a beautiful medicine for you today. And there's so many swans around here. As you drive around the area, you can see a whole fields of swans that are there. Look, whole fields of swans grazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm lucky that it stopped raining for a few minutes. So nature gives us some extraordinary gifts, and we're very lucky if we can just take the time just to tune into nature and to know that we are nature ourselves, and that the less we interfere with our bodies, the less products that we put into our bodies, and the more naturally we live, then the more powerful it is for us, the more powerful we are, because our immune systems know how to heal themselves. We know how to heal. And the big factor is the stress that's happening at the moment. So high levels of stress put us into a state of fight or flight. And when that happens, our primitive brain turns off our frontal cortex so that we can't think clearly anymore. And then we're very reactive. And it also turns off our immune system, so we're much more liable to get ill when we're under stress. So by doing things on a daily basis to decrease the stress is very positive for our health. And in addition to that, when we're in fight or flight, we also, as well as lots of adrenaline flooding our bodies, we also get flooded with lots of cortisol. And continual high levels of cortisol even begin to shrink our brain, shrinks part of the brain. So by keeping the stress levels down, we boost our immune system and we boost our capacity to critically think. So make sure you take time every day to just decrease your stress. I had to come out today because I was feeling quite stressed by different things, and I thought if I can just get out in nature for a short time, if I can just get out and be in nature and to bring down the adrenaline. I was feeling anxious, and as soon as I came out, I had a little picnic in my car because it was raining. I was just taking these breaths of relief. My body was like, and I could feel like my nervous system was beginning to settle again and coming back into what's called a window of tolerance, which is an acceptable level of adrenaline. And from a shock that it will take those recuperative breaths. I don't know if you've noticed that happening for yourself as you recover from something. So that's what we're looking for, how to recuperate. And ideally not to get stressed. So that's why I talk about resourcing. If we can have a list of resources that we can go to when we're stressed, that we can come back to that feeling of well-being by, not pushing further into that thing that's stressing us, but taking time to resource and to bring the nervous system back down to a better level of functioning, into a calmer state where we're less likely to get ill. So my immune system, turning the camera around, hi, so I've got my thumb on there as I'm trying to hold the camera. It's balanced on a fence. My hands are quite shaky and it's a little bit cold. I don't have how can I get my hand out? Yeah, so hopefully that's all right. Yeah, my immune system is really strong. I'm amazing. It's like I just don't get ill very much. But last year when I was in Jerusalem, and I don't know if it was what they're calling COVID was going around, everybody was very ill at the what was it? It was collective trauma retreat that I was doing in Jerusalem with Thomas Hubel, and lots and lots of people were ill, and I guess for some reason got ill. I was really, really, really shocked, and then I flew back to England, and having also gone to Petra in Jordan and climbed all the way up to the monastery, which was an incredible climb in a very bitterly cold day when it was snowing and everything. So I did push myself a little bit, but I'd been wanting to go to Petra for a very long time, but maybe it wasn't the best thing to do when I was already being ill, and I did get worse, and when I got back to England I did feel myself quite unwell, and I had an upper respiratory infection that may be what people are calling COVID, I don't know, but still having problems holding this phone. Where is that? I don't quite anyway, let's try that. Yeah, so I treated myself entirely with lots of vitamin C and lots of vitamin C. What else did I do? Steam inhalations, all sorts of naturopathic things to boost my immune system, lots of rest. And then I did use a nebulizer at the end with hydrosol, silver hydrosol, and I totally recovered myself from those kind of interventions. And that was, I guess that was almost a year ago now since I got well, and since then I've been out and about, and I've hugged lots of people, seen lots of people, done my usual things, and I've not even had a sniffle. So I'm very lucky to have an excellent immune system. Still trying to balance this. I wonder if it over here might be a little bit better as a flat post. No, it's not. It's a similar thing. Anyway, yeah, it's hard when I'm out wanting to do a video. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. It might wobble a little bit. So yes, I'm an amazingly healthy person, quite resilient, and I haven't really been ill very much at all in my life. But I do try to watch that resourcing thing. If I begin to get stressed, then I take time out to calm down again. And yeah, it's particularly stressful for people at the moment because human beings are hardwired to be with each other. Human beings don't feel safe if they're not together with other human beings, unless we've been really subject to trauma where we don't feel safe with human beings. That's a possibility as well. So, we've got a whole mixture of things going on at the moment. But if we can be with our loved ones, if we can get some hugs, if we can reassure each other, it's really, really helpful. And if you want to learn more about how to manage your nervous system and how to bring yourself back into what I call the window of tolerance. It's not my concept, but it's an important concept to understand, that window of tolerance, how to understand the neurobiology of your neurobiology, how your nervous system functions, how you can self-regulate, how you can co-regulate, what the somatic approaches are to healing the nervous system. Because you can't just think yourself well if you're traumatized. It doesn't work, because if you're traumatized, the thinking part of the brain is largely non-functional, or doesn't function very well. So that's the reason I've put together the 1-year trauma skills training, which is starting in May. It's an amazing training, and it's been life-changing to people. And it gives all the skills not only to help yourself and to heal yourself, and also to help other people. So badly needed at this point in time, isn't it? So I think with all the psychological pressure that's been happening, psychological attack and abuse really, isn't it? On so many levels with what's going on, that it's important to know how to regulate our nervous systems, to understand about trauma. And I think we're going to have masses of people, thousands upon thousands of people, who are really quite traumatized when this finally comes to an end. So the mental health issues of what's going on at the moment are enormous. So yeah, that's happening. That's in May, the beginning of May, and I will be posting something about it. So what else was I going to say? Yeah. There's so many things to say, and I don't want to repeat what I've been saying on other occasions. So, oh yeah, triggers. So I was going to talk about triggers. So a trigger is something that suddenly puts us into a very highly activated state. And at the moment, many of us are getting triggered by particularly by their loved ones having a different point of view, for instance, because when our loved ones have a different point of view, it can feel unsafe, because we want our loved ones, we want us all to be on the same page, we want to all be feeling like we're thinking the same things, because if we're not, then we can feel unsafe if somebody else is actually feeling something different than us, and then they might not love us, or might not respect us or care for us. So that's really hard when our loved ones are thinking differently, or when we express ourselves and then our loved ones attack us. So just watch out for triggers. What do you get triggered by at the moment? When you're with your friends, or what triggers you? What can suddenly make you feel unsafe or anxious or depressed? So make sure that you are aware of those triggers. What happens in your body at that moment in time when you're triggered? What do you notice? Do you start getting pains in your stomach, for instance? Or does your breathing get more shallow? Does your chest tighten? Do you lose your voice? Do you begin to get like cotton wool in your head? Do you begin to feel depressed or anxious, or maybe angry? Do you want to hit somebody? Yeah? These are all indications that you're either going into parasympathetic shock or fight or flight. So to watch out for that, because this is where you need to self-regulate. This is where you need to understand what's happening in your nervous system and how you can manage it and how you can bring it back to that calm space where you could be thinking clearly again, where your immune system is working. So I've talked a little bit about triggers before, and lots about resourcing and relaxing, and yeah, what can I say? I'm just really grateful. That's what I want to say. I'm really grateful that I managed to get myself out here today and to do this little video with you, and just to feel at peace. So let's do a little bit of grounding for a moment. I'm just going to switch the camera so you can see this beautiful view again. see how peaceful it is. So just take in some moments just to feel wherever you are, just to feel your feet on the ground, just to take a breath and just allowing yourself in this moment to be heavier. Just being aware of your body, coming into your body right now. As our body is key to our well-being. And just allowing ourselves to become heavier and more settled in our body. And to know that you are immensely strong and powerful. And that you've already come through lots of difficult times. And in your body you have everything that you need for your successful life. Your immune system knows exactly what to do. If there's some stresses or foreign invaders, something that's likely to make you ill, if you just trust that your immune system knows what to do and give yourself the space and time. So just knowing that. So taking another breath and a long out breath. And just allowing your shoulders to drop. Allowing your arms to be heavier. And just imagining yourself in this moment in some beautiful place in nature. And noticing how you feel when you tune into that beautiful image. What's happening in your body at this moment as you let your breathing calm and your feeling into your body. So just allowing yourself to settle some more. Allowing your jaw to soften and relax. Your eyes to relax. And just come into a place in your body where you have a sense of comfort and well-being. And just giving permission for that comfort and well-being to expand. And settling your attention into that comfort. Or maybe it's an absence of pain. If you can't find any comfort, where do you feel neutral? Or where do you feel warm, expansive, tingling? What tells you that you're well in this moment? And give that permission to expand some more. And taking a breath into that. And just hearing the birds. just going to switch the video back. So these are little practices that you can do every day that help you stay grounded and comfortable and well, and just to take down that level of adrenaline. So important to keep the adrenaline down and to keep those feelings of panic or anxiety or stress or overwhelm, so important just to keep them down and soothed and regulated. So I'm being blessed. I'm being blessed with some rain now. So I guess it's time for me to go home. I think I might drop by and visit a friend on the way home. Drop off a pumpkin. Lots of pumpkins. We grew over 100 in the gardens this year, so yeah, it always gives me a great deal of pleasure to be able to share something with someone. So lots of love to you. Do what you can to reach out and support somebody if you have that extra capacity. We all need each other at this time. Lots of love. Be well.